I'm Derek Rose from Memphis, Tennessee. Going to Clemson for architecture. I'm a freshman transfer. Um, and I attended this Library 100 session, and it was titled on basically discrimination against religion. And we went over a few things. It was a really good dialogue. I do believe the group actually achieved true dialogue. It was a pretty good discussion. It was very full. Not everybody talked, but the people that did talk were very elaborate and made their side pretty clear. The reserved voices in the dialogue, there were quite a bit. This is most likely just because some people don't want to either talk about the subject or feel like they shouldn't because of how they might have been brought up. Me personally, I didn't get involved in the dialogue because I believe that there is no reason to argue or to speak about religion in such a way. I was just brought up to think that. I've thought that my whole life. I don't think there's any point in arguing over religion, but that's just my opinion. The role I played in my group, personally the smaller groups, the first one we compared was this little circle thing with a pie chart in the center. Here it is right here if you want to look at it. And basically on the outside of it we filled in some just essential information about ourselves. Things like race, socioeconomic class, gender, orientation, age, national origin, first language, and of course religion. And on the inner side we were supposed to make a pie chart of how these things affect our lives and how they just interact with them and based on the decisions you make. And personally I put religion as 99% because it influences my everyday life. Every decision I make, whether it be a large decision or even just a small one, it always depends upon how I think my religion is based off that. And by the way, I'm Christian. And I just think it was a good discussion. People got really involved with it. In the second group activity, we had to compare and contrast two religions. Personally, we picked Islam and Christianity just because it's generally easier to compare the two because they're the most in the spotlight. And the comparing part was pretty easy, the contrast was pretty easy. And it was good. We got a pretty full list on both sides, and it was just enlightening somewhat to put it down on paper and to realize how close these religions can be, and the small amount of difference they have are actually just as large as the comparisons. They're fighting over, who the Messiah was. It seems like such a small thing, but it's such a big thing to the people who believe in it. And it's pretty apparent once you look on history and current events associated with it, and it's just really impactful. But the whole group really came to an understanding with each other of how just religion can be viewed in so many different ways, but at the same time still be peaceful, at least within the group. Nobody seemed insanely offended. Generally, I think everybody respected each other's views. I always do. That's what I grew up on. I just respect everybody's opinions. I don't play them down. That's just who I am. But this pretty much concludes my dialogue and my explanation of the dialogue for the class. I think it's a dialogue. I think it's a component, rather, of LIB 100, just because it's important in life to discuss things and to see other people's views and to understand why they're different. It's enlightening somewhat. I could see it being a useful tool in my experience at Clemson, just generally understanding people, but I've been in college quite some time, and I've always had a humble personality. I've always been able to respect people's views and to not thrash them and disrespect them. But from a standpoint of somebody else, it can be really helpful. And it was pretty cool. The teachers are great. It was just a good class. See you later.